listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kat.
And I'm Faith.
Faith, do we have any patrons today?
We do.
Yay!
Today we have Aaron Wilson.
Thank you, Aaron.
And also Ace of Heartless.
Thank you, Ace of Heartless.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are so cool.
You're really awesome.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you guys listening out there in podcast land would like to support us on Patreon, helps keep the show free and weekly. You can get access to some fun new stuff like flags and voicemails that we'll do for you, or outgoing voicemail messages, and you'll get exclusive access to our other podcast, Kath and Faith Vampire Slayers, where we analyze Buffy the Vampire Slayer with big fan Faith and newbie Kath.
Yeah, because we figured the format of me asking you questions about things is kind of working for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep going with that.
Yeah.
Well, we have one super quick question, and then we have a longer one. So the first one is one of our NB listeners, Danica, wrote in. Thank you.
Being non-binary.
Yes. And Danica has a question about their presentation and their new job and the best way to do their job. Danica just got their dream job as a caseworker with a group called Stopping the Violence. They work almost exclusively with women who are fleeing violent situations. So these women need to feel safe with Danica. And they need to feel safe, like, immediately. As soon as they feel safe with Danica, the progress starts. What Danica says, this is cute, so they can shower their world with support, which I love.
Yes.
Danica says, for this job, I need to be very non-threatening and gentle. My current style is not that at all. I basically dress gender neutral, approaching masculine on my t-shirts. Should I femme it up a bit for work? Do I stop wearing my binder, for example? And I thought that was a really good question, and
that is, because it's coming from a very thoughtful and loving place, and that's awesome.
And especially if the women are fleeing violence from male partners or something like that, I could see how masculine presenting person, there might be a little...
That's not the person you necessarily want to go to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, immediately after dealing with something as horrific as, like, partner violence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, we don't have the expertise to answer this question.
We don't, because we exist, both of us, within the traditional gender binary. Although I identified gender flux for many years, ultimately that was me figuring stuff out.
You are female. You present female. I am female. I present female. I also don't want people who come to talk to me at work to feel comfortable. In fact, I sort of actively work to repel them where I can.
Yes. Oh my God. Today we had to do cyber training for like cybersecurity.
Cool.
And one of the things was about phishing, and it was like, people will take advantage of your natural inclination to be cheerful and helpful. And I was like, I don't think I got the right training. This is definitely not describing me.
I am in the wrong class, Professor. I'm just going to wrap this up. So what we had to do to answer this question for Danica is to consult an expert. And we talked with Dara Hoffman-Fox, and they are a non-binary gender therapist in Colorado. Dara has written an amazing book, You and Your Gender Identity, link down below. I'm also going to link to Dara's YouTube page, Dara's blog, Dara's website. Dara is a busy
Dara's got
therapist.
a media empire.
They're insane in a good way. So Dara, who I saw at the Trans Wellness Conference but was too shy to say hi to.
Oh, did we?
Very kindly agreed to help out with this question. This is Dara's take. I think it says a lot, firstly, that Danica has given such considerate thought to the situation. That tells me that when it comes down to it, Danica's gentle, kind, and compassionate energy will shine through any gender presentation they might have. That being said, it could be worth trying out at first. Stick with how you usually dress. See how it goes. If you suspect that your clients are feeling distrustful of you, perhaps seek out advice from a supervisor, peer, etc. Danica, I think in the question you had said that your new boss is awesome and is happy to support you. However, she might be a good one to talk to if this does seem to be an issue with the clients. Back to what Dara was saying, my hope is you'll still be able to be 100% comfortable as yourself while also making sure your clients are as well. Because you're doing the work too. Like, best case scenario, you get to present the way you're comfortable.
Yeah,
so,
and you don't want to feel like you're having to dress up for this job.
Correct.
To be someone you're not.
Or have
naturally.
to play a character or something. Yeah, because the job is hard enough. I'm imagining that's a pretty challenging job.
I couldn't imagine.
Well, I hope this helps, Danica. Let us know if you give us some feedback. Let us know how the job's been going. I know it's been a couple weeks since you submitted the question. And best of luck to you and all your clients. Go and shower their world with support.
Yes. Thank you for the question.
Yes. And thank you, Dara Hoffman-Fox, for the response.
Yes, thank you. It's so nice.
So, Faith.
Yes.
I want to talk about your face.
Oh, my face. Yeah.
What is going on with your face, babe?
So to start this, I basically, I remember one day after I got this first thing done, I texted you a picture of Hellraiser, of Pinhead.
Pinhead from
Hellraiser.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Cenobites, a very, very nice gothy look. That's because I was being poked by needles.
Needles
I was getting
in your face.
Was getting my first electrolysis.
Oh, so what made you, I know you were going back and forth because you had laser a lot.
I did.
What made you decide to go with laser?
I had about 8 sessions of laser. And then I kind of stopped that, and the hair, what happens is your hair, only about 2/3 of your hair is visible at any given time.
Mm-hmm. It's cycling.
Another third is dormant. Mm-hmm. And so I had gotten to the point where I was pretty good, and then I felt like it was sort of coming back a little bit, or at least those other visible parts of it were more visible. And it's probably because I'm in that cycle. Mm-hmm. It's also that point where I was like, I think it looks horrible, and like no one else seems to notice it.
Right.
It's the point where it's like it's not super visible, but I can definitely feel it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I can either go back for more laser, or I can just bite the bullet and do electrolysis. Mm-hmm. Literally, biting a bullet would help.
Would have helped.
Would have helped. Some whiskey and a bullet. If it worked in the Civil War, it certainly work now. That's how medicine is.
Yeah, the pinnacle of medical care.
Yeah.
Civil War. Yeah.
Civil War Field Hospital. The pinnacle of medical care. So I just decided, I'll bite the bullet. I'll do electrolysis.
Okay.
And
now we do have another episode with our friend Sarah,
yes,
who did get electrolysis and reported on her experience. And she had a lot of good information about the different types and what to expect and pricing and effectiveness. And I recommend listening to that. There is a link down below. But this is your personal experience.
Personally doing it. Mm-hmm. So I had a hard time. I will say the first thing I had a hard time just picking an electrolysis because there were a few different varieties. There's the first ones that are like, your slick Hollywood style, bowl of rocks in the waiting room kind of. Sign in Papyrus, these places.
Mm-hmm. So the med
what's the bowl of rocks for?
Zen stuff? I don't know.
Okay. I bet actual Zen people are like rolling their eyes. They're like, really?
Yeah.
You're going to put the bowl of rocks there and the brochure's next to it? Come on. Is that tiger really lying near the water? Zen. Anyway, so that's feng shui. I'm mixing them up.
Yes, you are.
How very, terrible American of me, yeah. So the other ones were like, one person operations.
Okay.
And so I did some research. I got the opinion of some other trans girls in the local area here in New York City. I looked at Callan Lord, who is the medical provider I go to for my hormones and some other care. Mm-hmm. They had a page on their website recommending some people.
Okay.
So I ended up picking one off there.
Because they have their endorsement, so they're probably pretty good.
They have Callan Lord's endorsement, and they had a lot of endorsement of some other trans girls.
People you trust.
Yeah.
Okay,
and their Yelp reviews were good.
Okay, so that's really good.
Yeah, it only had one bad Yelp review, and it was for, it was someone talking about how there were people talking during their session and talking about like Satanism or something, and that was just like really inappropriate, and they were really bothered by this satanic talk.
Wow.
And I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
if that's their worst Yelp review,
if that's the worst Yelp review,
let's go.
I can deal with it. So I kind of was like, all right, I'll go with this. I made my first appointment, and the idea is that you're not supposed to shave for 3 days.
So, okay.
So this was like I made my appointment like for a Wednesday afternoon.
All right.
No, it was for Monday afternoon.
Okay, Monday afternoon. So don't shave for 3 days.
Don't shave for 3 days. So that's your Saturday, your Sunday, and your Monday.
Okay.
So I get to like Saturday's fine. I don't shave, whatever. I can cover it up with makeup, or I'm just running errands or something. It's no big deal. And then Sunday, I think we hung out with friends, and I was like, this is not looking great. Like, I don't think people could see it, but, like, I could see it. My laser, actually, because I tend to have I have very fair skin.
Yes.
And I've actually, like, had it pale off with some redheads that I know. I have a picture recently with me and Shirley Manson, famous redhead from Scotland. Our skin is the same color.
Very pale girls.
So I happen to be very pale. I have medium brown hair, so the laser worked really well for me.
Because you are the right candidate.
Yeah.
Which is light
I'm exactly
skin and
the right
dark hair.
candidate.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not someone like an Alexis Bledel who's got the very pale skin and the very dark hair.
Right.
But, it's like, you know, I'm near there.
Okay.
And so, and my beard hair is a little darker. So, I have like 2 patches, just kind of 2 thick patches on either side.
Yeah.
Of where, like, if I have one of those, like, old mustaches, like a Prussian general mustache that would, like, go down.
Or a goatee.
It would be there, but not in the middle of the goatee.
Exactly.
Think old timey mustache, big
circle
long mustache
goatee.
that goes all. Yeah. So anyway,
Because the laser is taking care of pretty much everything else.
It's definitely helps.
Your cheeks,
like you
your
can
neck.
feel it, but you can't really see it. And so so Sunday I'm like, oh, this is not great. And then Monday I get to, like, I'm in the morning, just like piling makeup.
Yeah.
On top of it, and it's just kind of sticking to the hair at this point, and it's just kind of a mess. Like, it's not covering it, it's just sort of mixing with it.
Oh.
And, yeah, I'm, like, not happy with it, but I'm like, whatever, it's just 8 hours, I can deal with it. And then I made the mistake of wearing glasses. And I don't really I wear my glasses on really 2 occasions. One is if I'm operating a motor vehicle, if I'm bicycling at night, three, or if I'm watching a movie.
Okay.
And those are the only 3 times I really ever wear my glasses, because I don't really need them. I can see pretty well, but just like distance, you know, like day-to-day use, I don't really need them. So I wore them that day, and I forget why. Sometimes I wear them for fashion, like it'll look good with my outfit. And so I did that day. I think for fashion. And because I had like the slightly more crisp, clear 4D vision, I was able to like just see the individual hairs being like,
which ordinarily you wouldn't have seen.
If I wore my glasses every day, I would have much lower self-esteem. I think having that natural, you know, blur, that sort of natural blending, you know, kind of makes things a little nicer. Sort of that Vaseline on the camera effect.
Yes.
So yeah, I wore my glasses that day, and I think that also played into it, like, psychologically. So like, I'm just like,
because you saw it more.
Yeah, and I'm just like, every time I was in the mirror in the restroom, I'd just be like, and so by noon, I was like, okay, I can't fucking take this anymore. I canceled my appointment, and I was like, I'm going home to shave.
So you went home at lunch.
So I went home at lunch. I told my boss, I'm like, I've got to run something. It's an emergency. I've got to take care of this. So I ran home.
I mean, you're allowed to leave for lunch.
You are allowed to leave, but I knew it was going to take longer than an hour. So.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't actually take that long, but yeah. So I shaved, and then it was like, yeah, sad. I felt much better.
Yeah.
Shaved, redid my makeup, went back to work, I feel much better. I feel normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, crap. Am I ever going to be able to do this electrolysis?
Mm-hmm.
Because shaving, I can't do it.
3 days without
Such
shaving.
dysphoria. I'm getting hit with so much dysphoria. I feel like I look awful.
Mm-hmm.
And so I reached out to some people, and like some people on forums and things like that, and like our MTF,
mm-hmm.
and on Facebook, and people were like, yeah, just leave like a patch. Because leave like just a tiny patch and let them do that tiny patch. Because
instead
they're
of
not going to...
whole face.
Instead of your whole face, because they're not going to be able to do your whole face.
Right. They're only going to do a patch
Unless
anyway.
you're later in electrolysis where they've pretty much taken care of the heavy patches,
mm-hmm.
and they're just kind of
cleaning up the
debris, the last few remaining survivors.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be all over your face, but at that point it won't really matter.
So then it's not an issue of leaving your whole... It's not even your whole beard, but leaving sort of that baby goatee in place. You just need to leave the quarter-sized patch of skin that they're going to work on.
Really like Kennedy Half-Dollar.
Okay.
If you kids these days have ever seen such a thing. Pog
or
size,
pog.
a pog, what else? what are kids these days? Oh, a kombucha cap? I don't know.
Cap on a bottle of milk? I think kids still drink milk.
Kids still drink milk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of something.
I know.
About the size of a Pokemon, okay? How's that for you kids? About the size of an anime.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't think that's how it works either.
All right.
About the size of a Stitcher. Vine, something. I don't know. So I made another appointment,
mm-hmm.
and I left like one little, something the size of a
Kennedy Half-Dollar.
And I went and, got my first electrolysis. So that time I did it also on like a Monday.
Mm-hmm. So
and
it had the 2 days to grow.
I had the 2 days to grow, and that wasn't so bad, just having that little patch. I was able to kind of ignore it. I didn't wear glasses.
So, I mean, I get that having the beard is very dysphoria-inducing, but wouldn't, not to give you a complex that you don't have, but wouldn't like a random patch of whiskers be also sort of...
It's less noticeable.
Okay.
Definitely less noticeable.
Okay.
So I went in for my first one,
mm-hmm.
and I lay down on a little bed. This is in someone's apartment, which to me is like a little off-putting.
At first you were sketched out. Yeah.
I was sketched out. And they were like, oh, I have stuff thrown everywhere because I'm packing, because I'm going on a trip. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Okay.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
So basically, I lay down on the bed, and they've got, like, a lamp in my face,
mm-hmm.
and then...
Did they give you sunglasses or anything?
No, they didn't do the sunglasses, but then, basically, she's got the little wand, the needle.
Yeah, yeah.
And she starts, like, moving toward my face, and I'm like, whoa, stop.
Hang on.
Before we do this, let's go over what we're doing.
Yeah.
And kind of what I can expect, because usually doctors do that.
Right,
They're always
they'll
like,
explain it.
You'll feel a slight pinch,
mm-hmm.
is usually it.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bone saw.
It's not a slight pinch.
It's all doctors ever say. Slight pinch. Tender.
Some pressure.
It's very tender.
Yeah.
It's very tender. There's a lot of fluid.
There's a buildup of fluid.
So basically she goes through, this is a trans woman doing it.
Oh, awesome.
And so that's kind of a plus.
Yeah.
At least they know. And so she goes through kind of the rundown of what they're going to do. She's got some handy posters.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, here's what the hair does. Here's how we're doing it. This is the method we use. And
was it heat or electricity?
It was a
combo.
She described it as like a microwave oven.
Oh, God.
It like heats up the water in your hair follicle. And that's,
okay.
So kind of like how a microwave does it. I think it uses radio frequency.
Okay.
Which is essentially what a microwave does.
Yes. And
except it uses except a microwave uses microwave
waves. Yes.
Yeah. Instead of radio waves. But it's all electromagnetic radiation. And so so I go down and it's like 15 minutes. So I'm on the little platform.
Mm-hmm.
And so I start getting it on one of the little patches, and basically it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt about the same as plucking.
I would have thought it would hurt worse than plucking. I don't know why.
It actually hurts, I think, if I had to pick between that and laser, I think laser might hurt less.
Okay.
But you're doing more.
Okay.
So it's kind of like with laser, it hurts a little less, but they do your whole face.
Okay.
With this, it hurts a little more, but they're just doing an area. So it's like, would you rather have like a smaller, like, would you rather have more little pains or one big pain?
Well, see, I think one big pain until I feel that one big pain, and then I might change my mind.
So it's kind of how I actually said, it's like, it's not as bad as threading.
Okay.
Eyebrow threading to me
threading.
was, right. Eyebrow threading hurts like hell. And this, you know, I did a whimper or two.
Yeah.
I did a twitch on my leg a couple times, but for the most part, it wasn't that bad. I only did a 15-minute for the first time, and it wasn't bad. And then after we were done, she was like, "Okay, feel this part of your skin." That's it. Your skin has not been that smooth in years.
Wow.
And so it was nice. I've got one little from that one. I have a little quarter size area.
Pink quarter on your chin.
Pink quarter. That's just my skin. I think it's healed at this point.
Yeah, it does look pretty healed.
And so for my second one, we did probably a little bigger, about 20 minutes for the second time. Some people do up to an hour, and I'm like, I don't think I could do an hour.
Oh, no.
Maybe when I get used to it. But I have a really high pain tolerance. I'm usually very good, to the point where my mom worried about me growing up.
I get it.
That I would have like major injuries and not tell her because I'm just sucking up the pain, and it's like,
even so, this is on your face, and
it
it's
is
tiny hot pinpricks. So, like, good. I'm glad you have a high pain tolerance, because you're going to be going through this for a little while longer still. But even a high pain tolerance, it's going to be rough.
Yeah. So the second one I did was 20 minutes. That was, again, halfway through. I'm like, how much time?
Yeah. where
have we done? Have we done? Not enough? Okay. So the first time, what they recommended is a little bit of ice at first. So you do some ice or some cream they put on it, and then you're not supposed to put anything on it, even sunscreen. Just let it be, because your hair follicle wounds are all kind of open and fresh, even though they're very small, and you might not be able to really see them.
Yeah.
And that if you get crud in there, bacteria is just gonna love
That's
that.
a bad scene.
So witch hazel,
Ooh.
which is an astringent.
Didn't that hurt?
No, it doesn't.
Wow.
Witch hazel smells bad. I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
So it's an astringent, and I always wondered what witch hazel was for.
Apparently,
it's always there next to the alcohol, and like old people always had it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So witch hazel is an astringent, so that if there's water or moisture
It would
in
draw it out.
the holes in your face,
Mhm.
it'll kind of draw it out. And then
That's
you put
interesting.
Neosporin on, which is an antibiotic, and also forms a little bit of a seal.
Yeah.
So you do that. She said 3 times a day. Another website I looked at, because I was looking up a question that I had, which was like, oh, how long before
Before I can wear makeup.
makeup? And it was like, oh, they said liberally on the website. So,
Apply petroleum jelly liberally?
No,
Or witch
not
hazel?
petroleum jelly, like
Neosporin,
Neosporin, like a triple antibiotic. Yeah. So I've been doing that, and that one didn't get anything. 'Cause she mentioned, she's like, don't pick at the crusts. Don't, if it gets red bumps, just ignore it. Leave it alone. And don't pick at the crust. I'm like, all right, so I'm picturing it's going to be terrible. First time was nothing.
It wasn't. There's nothing.
Just nice and smooth, baby smooth the whole time. The second time, which I had a couple days ago, is that one got a little rougher.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like scabs on it or something. It's little tiny bumps, which I'm trying not to mess with.
Yeah,
Hard part is I can't find anything to like apply witch hazel with that like works. So
like a cotton ball doesn't work.
Cotton ball gets all stuck.
Oh, it all pulls apart.
Yeah, and so I'm worried.
Paper towel.
I'm worried that I
Get more
screwed
crud
something
in
up.
it. Yeah.
With the paper towels. So, or I'm sorry, with the cotton ball. So I tried toilet paper, but that didn't really work. I tried napkin, like a nice thick napkin. That didn't work. So I think next time I do it, I'm just gonna splash it on there.
Yeah, use your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're not supposed to touch it either. So So whatever.
Okay,
but you have to put the Neosporin on.
Dribble it from above.
I think I'm going to dribble it from above.
Like in a spoon.
Like a washcloth on my chin or something. So, yeah, the second time is doing a little more. Like, it hurts a little bit. It's still a little sensitive. Like, barely? Barely sensitive. Just like a little bit of like, not quite happy. But, so we'll see. This one.
So you're going to go back?
I'm going to go back. This time was like about $50 size. This other one's $0.25. Everything is coin based.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was 20 minutes. So I think 20 minutes for a while more. And basically the idea is like you get the big thick areas.
Yes.
And so once you do that, you go out and you get like more of the smaller stuff. And then as your hair grows, as it gets dormant,
as it comes back.
Yeah, you have to so you basically have to do each area twice.
But then it's permanent.
And then once you've done that, it's permanent. So that's the path I have embarked on, which I don't enjoy. And the electrologist, they were like, oh, you should do it every week because then you kind of will get in a rhythm and you'll notice the results more. But I don't really like that because like even in the past couple days, like, you can't really shave. You don't want to shave over the area.
Oh.
Because if there's scabs or something, you could screw it up. Gotta leave which means it's, like, really tricky to, like, shave around it.
Yeah.
You know, in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm paranoid about screwing it up somehow. Like, getting... I have nice, flawless skin. I have very nice skin. I had like 2 random people at Sephora compliment my skin. They both work there, so maybe that's just how they greet customers. But
never said it to me.
You know, people just like my skin.
Good skin.
So I'm like always paranoid about like I don't want to screw up my skin, and hopefully I didn't. Hopefully I haven't. But if I did it weekly, there would always be like a spot on my face, which I don't really like because. Doing it, by the time I went back for the second one, the first one, that was about a week later. The first one was healed and it was fine. This one, I'm kind of like, I'm just like, man, I don't want to deal with it. So the idea of this, every week dealing with this?
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't love it. I don't love that. Obviously, I like the idea of a baby smooth face.
Yes.
But we will see.
Yeah, I mean, let the second one heal up all the way and then see how you feel.
So I actually have an appointment for like 2 weeks.
Okay, that's smart.
So we'll see how that goes.
All right. So overall, you do like it. You were worried at first about how much it would hurt.
I was worried because I heard it hurt. I heard it hurt more than laser. But to me, it's probably about comparable with laser.
Okay.
Laser you don't do for an hour though, and I think people might be like doing it for an hour. I might build up to that. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, certainly if I'm doing. I'm on these thick patches. I have these 2 thick patches on my face.
Right.
And so doing an hour of those thick patches on the same spot, I think is a little much. But I think if you can do an hour where you're just getting the remainder or something.
Yeah.
Or it's thinner.
Where it's distributed across your face.
Yeah, that might be a little easier.
Okay.
So we'll see. Some people say you can go to your dentist and get... like a numbing cream.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Topical lidocaine, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Which I don't know. I might. They say if you're going to do an hour, you do that.
Yeah.
Or you take an aspirin beforehand, but or I don't know if you take aspirin because that might thin your blood.
Right.
But
are you bleeding during this?
I think there's microscopic little
bits
because they take the electrolysis is
taking care of that.
Taking care of that, but also doing their own precautions so they don't have to deal with your blood.
Sure. I should hope so. All right. Well, cool. Thanks, Faith. That's pretty interesting. I would love to hear from you, our listeners. Have you tried this? Why or why not? And if you did, what was your experience?
Yeah, we'd love to hear. Because what if I'm doing it entirely wrong?
You could be doing it so wrong.
Something that's nice about it. That's why actually I think people, trans people always like to find things like our podcast or like YouTube videos. It's like, am I doing this entirely wrong?
Am I on track or am I way off?
Yeah. So...
make sure.
I would love to find out from other people, but my experience with it hurts, but, lots of things hurt, and...
It's better than plucking for the rest of your life.
Better than plucking for the rest of your life, and, better than shaving. I just want to have it done, because I don't like the hair, the beard hair is dysphoria.
Yeah.
causing.
Yeah,
and it makes me feel kind of like gross to have it. And shaving every morning is kind of a little like...
It's a drag, yeah.
As the French say, c'est barbe.
C'est barbe.
That is a French
anymore.
Okay, it was a French expression meaning boring to shave.
From the 50s.
From the 50s.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
Yes.
I am not c'est barbe.
No,
Because that was interesting.
Yes, cool. Well,
Yay.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks for listening, guys. I'll
We
talk
really
to you next
appreciate
time.
it. All right.
Bye.
From the If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels,
We have many different levels of support and lots of great rewards.
including Drinks with the Gender Rebels at Stonewall.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That makes it easier for other people to find us.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com or find us on Twitter @TheGenderRebels.
Music for The Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
The Gender Rebels is a Comeback Sync production, copyright 2018. All rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye.
Bye.